A Tea Party favorite and a staunch social conservative, Congresswoman Michele Bachmann is rising in the polls. Today we sit down with her as we continue our series, 2012 One-on-One. You have taken off since the New Hampshire debate. In a new Iowa poll out today from the Des Moines Register, it shows exactly that. Let's put it up on the screen. In the survey of likely Republican caucus goers, Mitt Romney is first with 23%, but you're right there at 22%, and all the others, as you can see, are far behind. How do you account for it? Why are you suddenly a frontrunner?
Well, part of it is because I was born in Iowa, and I have a distinct advantage there, I think. And also, I think since the debate, people have paid attention and they've recognized that I am very serious about what I want to do because the country's on the wrong track. And my goal is to turn the economy around and have jobs created. People recognize I'm serious.
Well, I mean, everybody would say that, both Republican and Democrat. Let's take an example. You and Romney, according to that poll, are out front. What's the choice for Republican voters between Mitt Romney and Michele Bachmann?
Well, I think what people know about me is that I do what I say and I say what I mean. I am a fighter for the cause. As long as I've been in Washington, D.C., I have taken that voice of the people who sent me here from Minnesota, from Iowa, a very common sense voice, and it has finally been heard now in the halls of Congress. My goal, Chris, is to take that voice to the White House, where it hasn't been heard for a very long time. And I think people recognize that I'm very sincere in what I say, and I will fight, whether it means taking on Washington, even sometimes my own party. I'm happy to do that because we have to turn things around.
By implication, are you suggesting that Mitt Romney is not sincere?
What I'm talking about is what I'm going to do as President of the United States. And in the course of this campaign, I look forward to getting to know more people and explaining more about our plan.
All right. We're going to talk about the other candidates a little bit later. But let me ask you about yourself. With the spotlight comes new scrutiny. The Los Angeles Times has a story out today that says, for all your talk of being a fiscal hawk, that in fact you have gone after federal and government, state government money over the years, both personally and professionally. And let's put it up on the screen. A counseling clinic, run by your husband got almost $30,000 in state and federal funds. A farm in which you're a partner got almost $260,000 in federal subsidies. And over the years, you sought more than $60 million in state earmarks and more than $3.7 million in federal earmarks. Question. That's a fiscal hawk?
Well, let's go through them. First of all, the money that went to the clinic was actually training money for employees. The clinic did not get the money, and my husband and I did not get the money either. That's mental health training money that went to the employees. Number two, regarding the farm is my father-in-law's farm. It's not my husband and my farm. It's my father-in-law's farm, and my husband and I have never gotten a penny of money from the farm. Regarding the earmarks, I believe that the right place to build projects is in the state, and the states have to build roads and bridges, and I don't apologize for building roads and bridges.
So you're pro-earmark?
No. During my first year, during my first term in Congress, I signed a pledge that I will take no more earmarks, and I've been faithful to that pledge. In terms of the money, and obviously I don't know the details nearly as well as you do about the clinic that's run by your husband, if you say money is going to employees, that would, I mean, if he runs the clinic, that would seem to be benefiting you guys. Actually,
and to the degree that you're a partner in a farm, federal subsidies would seem to benefit the farm.
Actually, it did not. It actually took away from the clinic because these were training hours where employees were not able to bring more income in. This was a one-time training money that came in from the federal government, and it certainly didn't help our clinic. It was something that was additional training to help employees.
Perhaps your biggest issue is that you want to repeal Obamacare, and one of your main reasons, you say, is because it would cut Medicare services, health care for seniors by $500 billion over the next decade, correct?
What I want to do is to make sure that we fully repeal Obamacare. This will be one of the largest spending initiatives we will ever see in our country. And also, it will take away choice from the American people. It will hurt senior citizens because Obama took away $500 billion, as you say, from Medicare and will transfer it to younger people in Obamacare. But even worse, the Congressional Budget Office is saying that we will lose 800,000 jobs with Obamacare. When we're in a situation now where we have massive job loss, this is not what we want to do with Obamacare.
But I want to ask you about the Medicare part of it, because you as you just said, it would take away almost $500 billion, $500 billion from Medicare for a new entitlement. But you voted for the Paul Ryan House budget, which would also take away almost $500 billion from Medicare.
Well, what we need to do is revise and change what we're doing in Washington, D.C. We do need to have changes in the budget. We do need to have changes in spending. But the one thing we know about Obamacare, it will be a brand new bureaucracy larger than anything we've ever seen before in Washington, and we simply can't afford it.
But if I may, I understand all that part of it, but I'm specifically on Medicare. Obamacare would take away $500 billion from Medicare. The Ryan budget, which you voted for, would take away $500 billion from Medicare.
Well, let's be clear. The Ryan budget is really the 55 and under plan. People need to recognize no one over 55 will be touched, but what we...
but it would take away, that's for the voucher plan, but it would take away...
It's not a voucher plan.
Well, we can talk about that. I mean, it's a premium support. A lot of people say that's the same thing.
But it's not.
The point is, though, that it's taking $500 billion away in the next decade for people over 55.
For what the Ryan plan is trying to do is present a budget framework. It's important for people to recognize it's not legislation.
It is legislation. It's been passed.
It's a budget framework, and this is a starting point for us to have a discussion. I put an asterisk. I voted for the plan because this is right. We need to get our house in order with our fiscal spending. But my asterisk is we have to make sure going forward with senior citizens that we're focusing on a higher quality of life, dealing with cures, for instance, for senior citizens. I think we can readjust the money, because one thing that I want to make it clear, my commitment is to make sure that government keeps its promises to senior citizens, both on Medicare and on Social Security. But for 55 and over, we need to be able to make sure that the system is kept the way that it is. But for younger, we will need to have adjustments.